Hello everyone, I'm Bets Golden. Thank you so much for joining me, and thanks for looking at my mess. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, let you see behind the scenes so you know that it's really real here. This is how we do things. Anyway, I'm coming at you today, not about that, but about something that you may be having a struggle with right now, and it's something that I was struggling with that I thought I would share with you the solution. But before I do that, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, will you please, pretty please, go over and do that. Make sure you hit that little bell so you can get a notification on the next time that I come on, and it would really help me out if you enjoy this video, if you like it, if you share it, and if you have any questions or comments, leave it down below. I'd surely appreciate it, and I'm so happy that you are here with me today. All right, so today's video is about what do I do when I am working on my gel print plate and I go to pull my print and it doesn't all pull, or the paint dried too fast. Sometimes you'll do a picture. Now, I'm not like an artist, okay? So please forgive my elementariness in this. But I painted a tree and I did a sky, and I went with my very favorite paint, which is the Dina Wakley acrylic paint, and that is what happened. I pulled it and I'm like, oh man, that's not right. So anyway, if you have this happen, I live in the desert, it's super dry right now. I'm going to share with you what you can do to go ahead and make the same type deal and get a print like this, still using our acrylic paint. So if you want to know how to do that, you're in the right spot. You're also going to notice that throughout the video, I talk about how I can show you how to use both of these types, techniques, and paints on a project to make something really cool. I'm not getting that today in this video, though I talk about it in the video. I'm actually going to save that till tomorrow, and the reason is because it was just going to get too long and it was a lot of information. So go ahead and enjoy this one, and then you can go ahead and check out the next video. If you're joining me on day one, it'll be up tomorrow, and if you happen to be joining me on any other day besides day one, it's already up, so you can go check that out after if you're interested in that. All right, let's get down to the table and play on our gel plate and solve this problem. Hello everyone, we are down at the table, and the first scene that we are going to build is going to be on the 12 by 12 gel press plate, using my very favorite Dina Wakley acrylic media paints. And I'm going to be using the colors that will be similar to my open acrylic colors, just so we can have a comparison. This is just going to be a little scene that we're going to put together, and I actually think it might be a good idea if I have another piece of paper under here, just to give me a nice baseline of where I am needing to paint, because I'm only going to be pressing onto one sheet that is 8.5 by 11. So I do not need to utilize the entire 12 by 12, but this is just such a nice piece to work with that I'm like, I think I'll just use it. I am going to be using a mixture of paintbrushes, dabbers, and also some brayers. And the first thing I want to do is I actually want to paint on my tree trunk. So I'm going to do the tree trunk at about here. And remember, I'm just doing this to show how this works with the Dina Wakley paints, and then also the open paint. So I'm just going to paint on the trunk, and like I said, it's gonna be kind of a whimsical ride here, just because I'm using the paints, similar paint colors, I should say, to the other. I can't talk today, can I? All right, so I have that, and then I want to go ahead with some of my evergreen and pop it around. We're going to do a tree, so I'm just going to take this and just dab it around like so. And I'm going to bring that tree on out. Get nice and big. And And it's going to go off the page, which I'm okay with. I love that when that happens, actually. All right, I got my tree down. And just need to now I'm going to put a butterfly on last, but I do want to have some I don't know, some sky in here, kind of, if that makes any sense. So to do that, I'm just going to take a little bit of this blue lapis, I can't even talk, and this white acrylic paint. And I'm going to take the sponge that I have and just kind of push it around, just spread it out, okay? Now the reason why I didn't put down a base first with that paint is because I didn't want, I didn't want to compromise the color of my tree. If that makes any sense at all. Okay. All right, so that's pretty good. And then I'm gonna go in with my cloud and I'm gonna remove some of that paint. And it's already starting to dry, so it really didn't remove much. I'm hoping that I can get an image, but it may not work. We will see. We will see. Might not be able to. All right, now I'm ready to lift this image up, okay? So I'm just going to go over the whole thing and I'm gonna brayer it out a little bit here. Like I said in the intro, it's very dry where I am right now, and my paints are just drying so quickly on my gel press that I'm just unable to get really good lifts. But it still is my favorite paint to use, and we're gonna do something at the end we're gonna show you. So let's see how much I was able to get up. So that's what that lift looks like. As you can tell, you know, it didn't pick up much of that blue or anything like that. So from here, what I need to do, so this is what the lift looks like. This is the your regular acrylic paint. And that's when you take some time and draw a picture out, okay? So what I'm gonna do from here, because I do wanna lift the majority of this, is I'm actually going to take some of my white acrylic paint, and I am going to quickly brayer this out all over a nice thin coating of this. All right, because I want to lift the majority of that. And I'm going to remove some off on my side. I'm just going to throw everything around as I do this. All right, so from here, I'm going to just take this and go ahead and brayer that out. And hopefully it'll lift some of what's on here. If not, it's just going to be part of our next pull. And it does. It definitely lifts a lot of it. So if what you have is acrylic and you want to do that technique where you paint something on your gel press and then lift it later, you can. I mean, look at that. The sky looks pretty cool, right? So I'm going to actually go through and kind of ruin this print because I just want to pick up as much of this as I can right now. Like so. And there we go. All right. It's still kind of cool, huh? All right, so from here, I'm going to go ahead and do this same technique, only I'm going to use the open acrylic. And I'm going to use similar colors. I'm going to use the red as my And that's a lot of red. So I'm going to use the red right here as my trunk. And the beauty of an open acrylic is it takes a little bit more time to dry. So if you are in the desert like I am, or in a dry environment, you can totally do this and you'll have that room still to work around. And then this is just this green. I'll list where I got my golden acrylic from down below for you, and also the brayers that I'm using. I really like these brayers. I'll list that as well. And I am just going to take this end and pounce it on through. Like we did with the other tree. Now, since it's still wet, I'm going to pounce that last. Once I get the fullness on that I want, once I get it to the fullness that I want, I will pounce that on last. So I'm about there. Okay, and it does pull through some of that color because, you know, it's wet. So, of course, it's going to do that. And then from here, I'm going to take some of my white and blue and do the same type technique that I did before. Just lay out some of this. And then my blue. My white. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, you guys. I am just a space cadet. And I'm also going to try to lift it again with that. I want to lift it, you know, with the cloud. See if that works, if we can get it to work this time. So just taking this sponge and just smooshing it all out everywhere. Colors are quite lovely, I think. All right, just about done. This. Smooshing it all over. And then I'm going to take my and I do get a little bit of a pull on that, which is nice. So I'm just trying, I'm trying to remove some of that blue. And it actually did make a quite lovely cloud over here. I got several pulls. So let's see what this one looks like compared to the other one. So again, I'm just going to lay this out. Go ahead and just brayer over it, making sure I have pressure everywhere. And then we're going to go ahead and just do that lift. And look at that pretty vibrancy on that. Isn't that lovely? So that is that, and I think I have another one on here, another pool. We'll see. So we'll go for that ghost pool right here. There you go. So I got a really pretty pull on that too. The second pull is kind of fun. You can definitely see those clouds more vividly in there. So this is using the open acrylics, and then this is just using your regular acrylics. That's the difference in those, how it pulls. So if you're having a hard time with your things drying out, you want to go ahead and get those open acrylics. Once this dries, it is set, it is good to go, but you are going to need to set it aside to do so. Now, I was going to show you another technique, but we are getting to that 15-minute mark, and I want to do that in tomorrow's video. So make sure you come back and you join me, and I'm going to show you how you can combine these two techniques to create a really fun piece. And we're also going to use some gesso to prep our paper. All right, until next time, I'm Betsy Golden. Happy crafting.